concept of country represents the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's enduring care and responsibility for Australia's beautiful lands, seas, air and coastlines. This deep and abiding connection is representative of the stories, history and laws of their people. Francis Rings, choreographer at Bangarra Dance Theatre, said that your land is an integral part of who you are as a person. For Indigenous people, landscape to them is like a second skin. It resonates. They close their eyes and they know their country. Understanding indigeneity and the concept of country is only made more profound by looking closely at issues faced today. Our government and society frequently exclude Aboriginal peoples from conversations and research concerning their country. Negative perceptions exist which marginalise the value of local knowledge in favour of Western environmental management, limiting Aboriginal people's access to country. We are still witnessing the devastating effects the removal of Aboriginal people from their local lands had upon them. Bray and Hill argue that Indigenous people's responsibility and relationship with biodiversity is profoundly affected by their current socio-economic disadvantage and poverty. As pre-service teachers, our emerging awareness of these issues mark the steps being taken towards social justice and systemic change within our education system. Intrinsic within the concept of country is caring for country, an ecological viewpoint built upon the tens of thousands of years Aboriginal people have been custodians of the Australian ecosystem, developing practices which continue to progress and cultivate current awareness of the relationship between people and place. This has been occurring through education and exposure to cultural practices and beliefs conveyed through the arts, ceremonies, storytelling, song and dance. Bangarra Dance Theatre is an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander organisation and one of Australia's leading performing arts companies. Their 2012 production of Terrain explores their fundamental connection to country through interpretive stories told by the Arabuna people about their understanding of the natural cycles and terrain surrounding Lake Eyre in Central Australia. This dance is communicative of cultural memory and stories drawn from ancient Aboriginal pedagogies. This can be seen in the dance as Spinifex was inspired by the trees around Lake Eyre that resemble gatherings of spirit women waiting, suspended in time, for the waters to arrive. The dancers twist, contort and roll, likening themselves to the tumbling and swaying Spinifex. To the Arabuna people, every element of the landscape resonates with deep spiritual meaning, understood through their connection to the land. Contemporary engagement with Indigenous philosophies and land-based teaching practices are key to inclusive classrooms, schools and communities. Deluge reflects the land's transformation as waters fill Lake Eyre with life. It expresses the experience, emotions and power of ancient land as the dancers move fluidly in unison like the waters. The dance is representative of Aboriginal people's collective duty of care to the land and their powerful sense of connection, which is conveyed through movement, sound and imagery. The role of water in Aboriginal culture is seen as a life force, linking the rains with good health, hunting and regeneration of food sources. In her book, Nourishing Terrains, Bird Rose beautifully describes country as a living entity with a yesterday, today and tomorrow, with a consciousness and a will towards life. Because of this richness, country is home and peace, nourishment for body, mind and spirit, heart's ease. When applying the concept of country to classrooms, ask yourself, how can you connect your students to the local country and its people? Harrison and Selwood stress the importance of engaging with the local community and not othering Aboriginal peoples by teaching about distant family groups or generally using the past tense to describe their culture, stories and connection to land. It is so vital that we oppose the systemic discrimination which arises when local Aboriginal peoples are overlooked in classroom discourses and facilitate the move towards social justice by understanding and sharing in the Aboriginal people's deep connection to and care of country.